Now we're getting on to our final grand finale here, guys, the 3 bids objection. And so there's basically 2 different ways you cover this 3 bids objection. Like I said earlier, in objection prevention, you want to talk about these 3 bids earlier on. So before you had us come out here, have you been out there in the marketplace looking at other companies to give you an idea of like what a project like this might even cost? I use this a lot with the gutter only bids because I really had to make sure that they knew what this was going to cost them. And I would tell them, hey, our average sale, in Oklahoma in this area is between about 5 to 6 or 5 to 9K. I would tell them that up front in the price conditioning, guys, like within the first 5 minutes of being like in the driveway as we're walking around their property. I would tell them up front what the price was going to be, 5 to 9K. 3 bids. By the way, I'm going to give some of this credit to Sam Wakefield. If you go to the Close It Now HVAC and Solar Sales Training Facebook group and search 3 bids, you'll see how he handles this. If you go to YouTube and you type in Jeremy Miner, collecting 3 quotes or something like that, there's videos where Jeremy Miner goes over a different way. 3 bids objection in the beginning, basically it's a smokescreen response. These are people that are probably buyers. They know that they're buyers, and so what they want to do is they want to try to get you off of their scent, throw you off of their scent, that they are a buyer. And they're doing it also to kind of tell themselves, because they're a sucker for a good sales process or a good salesman. A lot of this is just a BS smokescreen. All right, so what you want to do is you want to ask them a series of questions. Sam would say something along the lines of, he would say, yeah, there's hundreds of companies you could have called out there. What made you guys call us? I like to ask them, yeah, there's quite a few companies out there that can do this. Have you looked to see how many companies there are in your area that offer this service? A lot of times in the rural places, guys, there aren't very many people offering your service. So you have an advantage in that area. So if you say, have you looked up how many companies there are in this area that offer this service? And they go, yeah, you're the only one. Can't really shop around then, can you, pal? So then you talk about it and say, yeah, man, that's why we've been getting a lot of business out here. Like in Enid, my biggest sale I ever made out there was a $32,000 sales, like 31,882, right? Made $7,000 on that one. And I asked the guy when we were done, I said, so I was just curious, why'd you end up hiring us? He goes, well, I had, truth be told, a week ago, I had Leaf Guard out here and they were wanting to quote me for $52K. And I rolled out $45K as my rollout price. And I said, well, why didn't you buy at 45? And he goes, I just need to make you sweat a little bit. But in Enid, there was only like 2 companies, and they were the big companies. The one big company that was like a family-owned company out there, the person retired. So like if somebody says, I need to get 3 bids, at the end, one of the things you can say is like, have you considered the consequences of what would happen if you went with like a smaller company? And then like they decide to like close up shop and just retire or move to Florida, like what happened here and here and here, and you can tell all these stories. Reframe, story, reframe. Those are fear objections. We're going to talk about the 3 bids up here. So yeah, have you been looking around to see how many companies there are? If you're in a major city, there's probably a lot of them. Yeah, there's almost hundreds of them. So how out of all of those companies you could have called, I'm just curious, what made you decide to call us? Well, because you had this and this and this. Okay, was there any other reasons? Well, this and this and this. Okay, anything else? No, that's pretty much it. Okay. Did you call any other companies? Yeah, you're the first people to come out. So are we just the first company you happened to call? Or are we just the first company that's actually like responded and actually came out already? I like to ask that question because there's a lot of times where they'll call companies and they tried to do their due diligence. They tried to get 3 bids, but the company didn't even respond to them. Didn't answer their call, didn't call them back, or they called them back and they're like a week or 2 out and we were able to respond promptly. People will pay more for convenience. They don't like delayed gratification. people will shop at a local convenience store to go pick up, groceries rather than going to the grocery store, which is 5 or 10 minutes further away, and save a little bit of money. You ask these questions and you get them to talk about it. And then what Sam will tell you is he'll say, so it sounds like, out of all the mental things, that you're kind of looking for in a company, it sounds like we've kind of checked those boxes of what a great company might look like. Is that right? And they'll say, yeah. And then you'll say, so, and his way of saying it, I don't like it, it's a little pushy, a little assumptive, is he goes, so is it possible that we might be the exact type of company you want to work with? I think doing that in the beginning is going to raise their defenses a little bit, but his psychology of it is that, hey, talk about a reframe in the beginning and pre-framing that you might actually be the exact kind of company that they're looking for. So it goes like this. Out of all the companies that are out there, what made you decide to call us? Why else? Ask 2 or 3 times. Okay, so it sounds like we've checked all those mental boxes of what a great company should look like. So it sounds like we've made the cut, right? Quite possible that we might be the exact kind of company you would want to work with. Try it, see how you like it. It's been working very well for Chris. Chris has been taking it and running it because he had a lot of problems with this objection, and it's worked very well for him.